Guys, welcome to WPZA Maintenance Best Practices. Today's video we're going to be going through user best practices and how to manage your users, manage passwords, things like that inside WordPress. These are basically best practices going forward for your site on what to do with your site. So let's just go through to the user section. So the user section on the left hand side, you'll see there's a users menu. We'll just go look at all users at the moment. As you can see, this site only has one user at the moment, and we've had them. This is the administrator. What we found in the past is that a lot of sites that we've started maintaining, we'd get to the site and we'd find out that there were 4 or 5, sometimes even 10 administrators to the site. So it could have been previous service providers that were looking after your site, the people that developed your site. They would obviously have admin accounts to your site. Generally what we found is that a site should only ever have one administrator, and then every other user should either be a subscriber, an author, an editor, and that's it. Because it just gives, if somebody has the administrator rights, they can obviously change plugins, they can update plugins, they can move plugins, they can change the theme, and obviously they have a lot more control. So if you've got someone in your office that does content, then rather set them up as an editor or have that role, as opposed to having full control of your site. There should only ever be one administrator account, and that should be known by yourself and maybe a service provider. And if at any point you want to change service providers, you just change that email address for the administrator. And even if they had other user accounts, those other accounts would only be editors or even authors. So yeah, what we're going to do is we're just going to take you through the process of creating a user. So we just go add new user. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to give it a Fred. We'll use Fred at Bedrock. Obviously I grew up in the 80s and 90s, so obviously I watched the Flintstones, so that's always my names. Flintstone, website, XYZ, etc. Then obviously they've this new feature in WordPress. You can obviously have your show password there. We found that just using that password is sufficient. It's complex enough to be able to not be hacked. I think it's 16 characters. It's uppercase, lowercase, and all of that. I generally don't send the email via the backend. I normally send it personally to the user. So by that I mean I actually copy the password. I give them a specific role, say an author, and I add the new user. And save. And as you can see there, we've got this new user, Fred Flintstone, and he's an author. And obviously there's the one administrator account. You'll also find that sometimes you may have taken over a site from a provider, and they may have developed the site locally, and they've obviously used quite simple passwords, and when they've done the upload, they haven't obviously changed the password. So all you really need to do is just go edit, scroll down to the specific section, and then just generate yourself a new password. So once you've generated the new password, you just say update profile, done. It's just a very, very quick way. Honestly, most clients that we take, where we take over their sites for maintenance, most clients don't know what their usernames and passwords are for their site. Obviously, security starts internally. You should know your username and password for the site, and change it as and when you want to change service providers. It's the safest way to go. There are places out there where you can get 32 very, very extensive passwords. Generally, I find the longer the password, the harder it is to crack. Look, there's lots of holes in website security, but this is a nice way of limiting the fact that you only have one user that's administrator. Every other user is either an author or a contributor, and they don't have any rights to anything. Thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this best practice. and watch some of our other videos just to pick up other best practices that we have for our sites. Thanks a lot, guys. Cheers.